What is going on, everybody? I am really excited to bring you this video. It's the first video since since the last video about the bearskin condoms, and that was about 2 months ago. So I'm really excited to bring you another video on a whole nother topic. Today I'm going to be talking about whether you can make it and thrive in the San Francisco Bay Area, and how you can do that if you decide to move here. A lot of people hear a lot of things about the Bay Area. I mean, things like how expensive it is to live here, and mostly things around the cost of living. There are some really cool things about the Bay as well in terms of hiking and biking and so many different kind of sports and events that happen around here. So there's a lot of positive things going on, but a lot of people hear the cost of living, and that usually keeps people away. But I'm going to show you some tips, or tell you some tips that will maybe ease your idea of living here if you were considering it. One tip I have is you want to come here with some type of well-paying or high-paying skill. Meaning, maybe you work in tech, maybe you work in finance, you work in some type of industry that pays well enough and translates to a big city. So if you were to move here, you would still be able to find a good job, and especially if you're working in tech, you'll be able to find an awesome job most likely here. The demand for people in the tech industry here is super high, and they pay very well as well. For example, using myself as a reference, I don't work in tech or in finance or in any kind of business. I'm an aircraft mechanic. I make $32 an hour, but for me as a single individual with no children and no other dependents, that is perfectly fine for me, and I actually thrive on that amount. And a part of that is my second tip, which is finding a place that is not too expensive for you to live, and finding a place that's within a budget that you feel comfortable with and allows you to still enjoy life. You don't want to be paying most of your paycheck towards rent. I mean, nobody does. You want to be able to enjoy your money and have fun with it, right? I mean, yeah, that's what we all want to do. That's why we work for the most part. Um, and so what I've discovered about the Bay Area is that a big thing here is what's called in-law units. And in-law units can range from $1,000 up to 2,000 or 2,200, while regular apartments that are part of apartment complexes usually run you about 17, 1,800 and up for a studio and one bedroom and more than that. So in-law units are really cool. They're really popular here, and it's a really good alternative if all you want is just a basic place to sleep, eat, and shower. An in-law unit can be a great opportunity for you to be able to stay here and not pay too much. Using myself as an example again, I don't have an in-law unit, but I have a small micro studio apartment, which you can kind of see a little bit of. And it's probably 300 square feet or less, but it's got everything I need. Shower, not shower, of course it's got a shower. It's got a bathroom, a full bathroom, a full kitchen, and space for me to put my queen size bed. And that for me is the most important things for me. And so it works for me, and it only costs me $1,400 a month, and it's all inclusive with water and electricity. So good deals are out there, and you can find them. You just got to be diligent about it and look in the right places. Craigslist is a great place to look for kind of off-market stuff. Just beware of scams as well, especially in this area. So yeah, finding a place that you can afford and that works for your budget really helps. The third thing would be prioritizing what's most important for you. And what I mean by that is maybe what's most important for you is being able to travel after you've paid rent and all your other bills. Maybe it's going out to eat and trying different restaurants. Maybe it's going out to events, concerts, sporting events. Different people have different interests. So the important thing is prioritizing and figuring out what you can do with and what you can do without. Because unless you are making a large sum of money on a regular basis here, you will have to kind of leave some things out and put your focus more on things that are more important to you. So for me, it's eating out. I love food. Everyone who follows me on any kind of social media knows that I really enjoy all types of food. And I'm eating out almost every other weekend, trying different restaurants and seeing what's new out there and what I like, what I don't. So for me, that's a part of my priorities. And so I make space and I make room in my budget for that. And it helps to have rent that's only $1,400 a month, because that leaves enough room for me to pay for the other things I need to pay for, as in food, for example. And it also leaves me with enough for bills and groceries as well. Another little tip, quick tip, is grocery shopping. First of all, I love Trader Joe's because of the prices and also because of their selection. They offer anything you may need food wise, and their prices are very fair. And what I do is usually I just shop for what I need for 1 week, and it's usually like the bare essentials, nothing too extra unless I'm in the mood for getting a lot of extra stuff. But usually I keep it really conservative and I just buy what I need for the week. And if I need something extra and I don't have it, I just go out and get it. But usually I keep it very simple for the week for groceries, and so I don't tend to spend a lot on groceries on a monthly basis. So here's a little bonus tip. If you're a single male, especially like I am, and you're into the dating game, maybe you like to go out on dates or meet up with people and go for dinner or do whatever. One tip on that, or in that regard, is to do things that are kind of untraditional. Maybe go on a hike, or meet somebody for a walk, or go get some frozen yogurt or ice cream. Or instead of dinner, maybe do lunch. Maybe meet for tea or coffee. There's different ways that you can play it that allow you to save money, because ultimately, especially on the guy's side, usually we end up paying for a lot of dates or meetups with people. I like to call them meetings or outings, whatever. I'm not really a big fan of the word date, but a lot of times we take that expense, and that adds up a lot when you start talking about dinner for two, and then also you do some type of social event, or some type of activity. You think about that throughout a month, and you do that a few times throughout a month, and it really adds up. So keep that in mind, that maybe you can do something a little bit off the beaten path, rather, something that's not too common. And also, the person that you're with will really appreciate that you've gone out your way and you've thought outside the box. And usually those type of settings allow you to get to know somebody even more. If you're walking with someone for a few miles, that really allows you to have good conversation, allows things to flow, naturally, and just kind of, keeps you in a good groove. And then it takes the pressure off about, paying for things as well. Because, let's be honest, unless you're making a whole lot, you still have to be conscious of, what goes out in terms of expenses. So keep that in mind. But that's not to say don't go out to eat. You should go out to eat if you want to, but just be more creative. Maybe think about a food truck also. That's another option. So yeah, just think outside the box if you are gonna go and meet somebody for the first time or for the second time or whenever. So those are my tips on how to survive and even thrive in the San Fran Bay Area. I love it here in San Bruno. It's right next to the airport. I live close to work. All the things that are important to me, distance to work, uh, price that I pay for my rent, and being able to still have enough for food and other activities such as travel sometimes as well, are all being met. And on top of that, I am saving like I've never saved before, which is a big surprise to me as well. But somehow it's working, and I'm paying off credit card debt. Excuse me. I'm paying off credit card debt, and I'm really proud of that. So, you know, you can make it over here. You really can. Just kind of have somewhat of a plan, just a small plan, and use maybe some of those tips that I've given you, and I think you'll do just fine. But I'll talk to you all later. I'll come up with another video soon, so be on the lookout. Thanks for watching.